Okay, folks, we're back. I've already got the software downloaded. I found the programming software for this model. I found the Windows 11 USB driver, very important. I found the legacy USB driver, so you can find all three of these at hamradiolife.org. Okay, moving right along, let's get on to programming. Now, I've already installed the programming software. I've already installed the USB Windows 11 driver, because that's what I have is Windows 11, unfortunately. And I have the software up, so let me put on the old spectacles and let's show you. This is the programming screen. I've already identified my COM port. It showed up as USB reader COM4. So up here in the software, I hit device, and let's see where we can set the COM port. It doesn't show, so let's hit read. Well, before we do that, let's just do this. We got to go in the right step, and I plugged in the programming cable to the USB port on the computer, but I haven't plugged it into the radio yet. So yeah, once again, retaining screw comes right out. Don't like that. Programming cable's got a retainer on that screw. I don't understand why the little door cover thingy can't get one. Ooh, see, reasons like that. Okay, radio's plugged in, so let's hit read device. There we get to choose our COM port, and it chose it for us. And the model is not the RT24, it is the HA1G. So apparently this software works for multiple models. Let's hit OK. And wow. Host failed. Retevis CPS. Since it wouldn't run on a Windows 11 machine for some reason, I ran and got my Windows 10 laptop, which this resolution may not be very great, but at least we'll be able to demonstrate the software. Now, there's two executables in this file that we unzipped, and one's called Retevis CPS.exe, and the other one's Retevis CPS FAC.exe, and what it means is factory. And I haven't tried that one yet, so we're going to continue on with this one and run it, the Retevis CPS, generic for lack of a better word. And here we go. So just as before, we're going to hit read device. It's chosen COM6. 1, 2, and 6 are in the list, so we're going to stick with 6. Hit OK. And look, it's host read all data. It's actually going to read the radio, and I can see the radio lit up. It's got a blinking green light on the busy light, and it's saying CPS read reading on the screen. All right, all data completed. So we'll take a look at this software. The first selection is basic information, which I think is what we're on already. It tells the software version, the model, and the hardware version. Then we're into settings, password setting, band setting. That's a moniker. That's a since it's in blue, it's basically a heading. Band chosen, band A, band B, and band A, that's what we want for now. Band A, power on, is last power off zone and channel. Band B is set the same. Band A and B, power on zone, all channels. And I could make these just whatever I wanted to, imagine. I don't know how to get back out of that now that I'm into that. General setting, transmit beep, key beep, voice prompt, Roger beep, if you're into that kind of thing. Battery saving, battery save settings, save delay, menu exit delays. We're going to leave those alone for this video. Take a look at the emergency setting. Apparently you can turn the local alarm tone off, where when you hit it, it transmits probably and not over it doesn't sound out over the speaker. Key settings, side key 1, power switch. No wonder I'm reading this wrong. It's spelled S-I-L-D-E instead of slide or side, it's SILDE. So Sildy key 1, Sildy key 2, TK long press. I'm not exactly sure. We'll compare that with the manual later. Zone 1, Zone 2. I guess you can set up zones. Can you add zones? No, you can. Ooh, I like the idea of that. But we'll get back to that so we don't confuse the situation. There's VFO A and B, GMRS, all the way through the repeater channels, and channel 31. Let's see. Let's just test something here. Let me select the whole thing. What do you know about that? Let's give it a name. All-Star 578. No, that's not me. 58176 is me. Apparently I can't put in a dash, or can I? I can. And I like. So, let's just take a quick gander further down. We've got a scan setting. Talkback scan, that's very dangerous. We'll explain that later. Looks like it's got basic functions, GMRS, but we're going to see if it does ham. Let's write this back into the radio. Package count 54, bin size 55070, use time 18953, data write completed. That's interesting information. Okay, we're back. Wouldn't program in my Windows 11 machine, so I brought up a Windows 10 laptop, and as you saw, it worked. So we're done with programming. So let's take a look and see how it worked, if it worked. Let's take that programming cable back off. That's on. It only has high and low for a selection of transmit power, and I don't think that... Oh, transmit is not permitted, so its firmware is sticking true to its GMRS responsibilities, as it were. Probably heard that in the microphone, sorry about that. So let's see if we can get channel label to display on the screen, and I'm betting that is not in channel setting but in radio setting. Display mode, frequency, name, or channel, so I chose name, exit, and looky there, AS58176, which is, it stands for All-Star 58176. So let me key up this one. Oh, it turns green while it receives. Very cool. Okay, let me get this all charged up. Let me get my GMRS repeater cable fixed, and we're going to have some fun. We'll be back. The WRUT 923. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog on the Bailfang UV5R. Audio. This is WRUT 923 testing on the AILUNCE HA1G GMRS handheld. Testing transmit audio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Okay, I'm back. That was an interesting adventure, and it's not over yet. I did get the radio to program. I don't know if I've told you this or not. Windows 10 worked. Windows 11, it launched the program but wouldn't read the radio, so I can program the radio into any GMRS frequency and it'll work. I can program in a ham frequency and it will not transmit on it, but it will receive in the 70 centimeter range. I haven't tried a VHF channel, but it's not a dual band radio, so I don't think that part will work. We'll find out. I went to take the antenna off and couldn't budget. I'm like, good grief. And I thought, I want to put a wrench on this. And I thought, no, just slow down and take a look a little bit closer. And what I discovered was this. Well, you can see that. Let me see if I can zoom it in. See that little hole right there? This little band right here of rubber I peeled up. This little band of rubber right here, I peeled it up to reveal a little set screw. After a bunch of fiddling and looking around and reading stuff on the internet, I found that little set screw, and that set screw would put you in mind of a set screw that you would see on an antenna where you adjust the aerial for frequencies or what have you, frequency setting. So after much digging, I finally found an Allen wrench to fit it. Very small. About this big. Pulled the set screw out, and then it threaded off finally, and it looked like to be an SMA male. And this is what the radio looks like with the antenna removed. It's an SMA. It's an SMA female socket that takes an SMA male antenna. So we're going to try to hook up the power meter and see what kind of power the AILUNCE HA1G is putting out. Okay, so here is the AILUNCE HA1G. Here's the AILUNCE GMRS radio on 462.562.5. It's the GMRS1 channel. Looks like we're getting 3.6 watts on low power. 462.563, it's rounding up, megahertz. Nope, it's on low power now. Okay, let's try that. 1.09 watts on low power. I forgot there's a hotkey for this. Now it's on high power. 3.89 watts. So, GMRS channels, the simplex GMRS channels are supposed to be low wattage anyway, so it is below 5 watts. So let's bump it up to one of the repeater channels. This is repeater channel 1 with high power. 3.89 watts. 467.551. This is low power. 0.96. 0.96 watts. We'll go back to high power. Just a tad over 4 watts. You'd think they'd give us a little bit more, but it is a walkie, so. Okay, let's just try one more repeater channel. We'll go to repeater number 4 on high power. .98 watts. Put it on low. .994 watts, so right at a watt, just under. So it's not a powerhouse of a radio. So let's turn this off and let's see if that VFO will let us type in a VHF frequency. So 144,500. So it went in there, so let's go here. Oh, they will receive VHF. Test 1, 2. K85 FMU. Doesn't have an antenna on and it's receiving. We're going to put this back on. I'll show you. It just threads right back on here. And if you look through the little peephole, you can see where the divot it made in the threads of the long shaft of the antenna. You just put your set screw back in there, nudge it back down, and then that rubber band goes right back over it and fits into a nice tight groove. But I can't transmit on it, but I can receive VHF. Test 1, 2. Kilo Delta 5, Foxtrot Mike Uniform. Kilo Delta 5, Foxtrot Mike Uniform. Kilo Delta 5, Foxtrot Mike Uniform. The speaker on this thing is strong. Kilo Delta 5, Foxtrot Mike Uniform. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is a test. I like that it receives in VHF. I like that it receives in UHF ham bands. It's staying true to its form. I haven't found any way on the internet that mentions anything about a modification or some special firmware upgrade to make it go out of band, which is good because this thing it's got some durability to it. I mean, look at it. It feels like a Moto Turbo in my hand. Motorola's XPR 6550s, I believe. We used them in public service for a lot of times, a lot of years. Now, if you use this asterisk button scan, it'll switch you between VFO, A and B, 1 and 2, or receive A and B. That's back in channel mode. I press and hold on exit. And then if you want to go down here, you can. And switch channels. You can also go into the menu and go to radio setting, display, actually backlight, and you see that brightness indicator. If you turn this up here, you can adjust the brightness to the screen. So you put it there, and if you leave time at 0, or you can hit the up. An hour, 45 minutes. Let's put it at 10 seconds. And we wait. Oh, and it timed out. I've seen a lot of complaints on the internet about, hey, the screen won't go off and it's going to run the battery down and yada yada. Well, no, there's a setting in there for that. There's a bunch of settings, and this radio programs, you can program it on the face, and the menu structure is very similar to that of the Anytone 878 UV2, 878 UV, the handhelds, and I'm sure the mobiles are pretty close. The menu structure is the same, and you can program channels in from the keypad as well as the software. But it's got C-type charging. I've already tested that out some. I haven't fully charged it yet. I just gave it enough charge to do some testing with. So, I mean, it is what it is. It goes for about 60, 70 bucks, depending on where you buy it. It could be eBay, could be Amazon, could be Retevis Direct. AliExpress sells them. If you want to wait a little bit longer, you can get it from AliExpress, probably for a few dollars cheaper. This is my local GMRS repeater. It should ID now. That's 2 ICOM commercial radios that program legally into the GMRS range and are being controlled by the Ideomatic version 4 repeater controller. They make an outstanding repeater controller. I'm still going to make it a GMRS Live, which I already have done, but I'm having an issue that I can't figure out, but my radios are fine. Nonetheless, it's all good in the hood. But this, for those that are looking for a good GMRS handheld, this is a good one. I was a little upset at first when I couldn't get the antenna to come right off, but it did. After I found the set screw and the rubber seal and the whole 9 yards, it came right off. If it's IP67 rated like they keep saying it is, then how are you going to keep the water out of that USB-C charging port? That's one thing I haven't seen an answer for. So if you get one and you expect it to get wet, you might want to cover that up with something waterproof. But once again, I know I keep going back to this, but it really feels good in the hand. It feels like it can take a hit or two. It reminds me of the the APX family of the newer Motorola's. The Apex, they have a similar contour and shape, but the speaker is strong and good. The microphone is very sensitive. It doesn't pick up wind noise terribly, but it's up here at the top, so it picks up your voice very, very well. The antenna, let's take a look at that before we give up. After I finally figured out how to take it off, I'm thinking, well, what if I want to put a different antenna on it? Which I know I can do, but how's it going to look? Because it has such a long shaft, which is awkward. So if you'll notice, it has a long shank for an SMA. So that'd be it. Need an SMA male. This is just a stubby, but I'm betting, yeah. I'm betting here you screw an antenna down on top of it, you're not going to get it sunk all the way down to the bottom and it loses 100% of its waterproofing. And I don't know what that's going to do to your signal either. I mean, it still would ground correctly, but I really don't like the look of it. But it is what it is. If you want to add an antenna or change the antenna, you can. You're just going to lose some of your IP67 waterproof in there. But I haven't done a great deal of long distance testing with this new AILUNCE anyway, but this antenna looks like it's stout. It feels stout. I can only assume it receives and transmits well, so maybe we'll do some spectrum testing on this sucker as well. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see how that goes. I give you the AILUNCE HA1G Hotel Alpha 1 Golf. You can buy it direct from Retevis's website. You can buy it from Amazon. You can buy it from eBay. About 60, 70 bucks ish, shipping and all, tax and all that good stuff. But I mean, it could be worse. It's a good low price GMRS walkie. And we'll continue to evaluate it and see how it goes. I'll report back eventually after I get a chance to do some long distance testing, but that'll be the end of the initial review for now. So this is Freddie Mac, your ham radio Crusader, wishing you all 7-3s, hoping all the good signals to be yours, and ham on, y'all.